Very good evening to all the investors gathered here for today's webinar. It brings me great pleasure to have all of you all come for today's event. Stock selection made easy. In the current market, in the current volatile market, you might buy a particular stock, but you might not be, or you might be unsure as to what to do with it. This event today gives you some idea about strategies. In the middle part of this event, I'll also be showing you some stocks within our strategies and how we pick these particular stocks. We had done this event, I think, a few weeks ago, and a lot of investors really liked it and wanted to learn a bit more. This time, what I've done is that I've picked up 4 stocks which are different from the last time's ones to give you a better idea. So if you're coming to this event and you've already attended the last event, there'll be something new for you to learn. Let's start off with this disclaimer: investment in securities subject to market risk. Past performance should not be construed as a guarantee for future returns. Investments in equity and equity-related securities does involve a high degree of risk, and you should not invest unless you can afford to take the risk on your investment. This risk is something which we would be better able to understand. This high degree of risk is something which is in our hands, because here we would be able to also limit the risk when we invest in the stock market by having a good stock picking strategy. It is very important for you to understand that every stock comes with some risk, but if you've calculated the risk, if you understand कि ये particular stock जो मैं invest करने वाला हूँ, which particular sector it is in, okay, how much allocation I have in that particular stock, you will be able to have a lesser volatile portfolio going ahead. The movement in the current market, okay, once it goes up towards today, it's slightly moving downwards, and your portfolio is seeing drastic shifts. So we will also in this event understand what risk we take when we invest in stocks and how we can take calculated risk so that the returns we make, is subject to higher risk, higher returns basis the risk we take in the stock market. Before I move on, an announcement: we are actually closing these prices soon, only for the webinar attendees. You all must have come on the website and see higher prices. You're attending this webinar, so you all are my favorite people on the site. And only through this webinar, a link available just below the video, where we would be providing you a 1-year pricing at 14,999. This is our MRP on MarketsMojo. Plus 1 year free because you're attending this webinar, and another 6 months to top it up, which is a limited period add-on. 14,999 for 30 months, trust me, 500 rupees per month to get you all the analysis and all the stocks. If you're already a member on MarketsMojo and you would like to extend it further, you can use this link. The prices would go up later, so it would be difficult for you to extend at this particular rate. As you notice, the prices on the site are much higher. Okay, you get 19,999 for around 2 years at MarketsMojo, the best rate available. Here we are giving you 14,999 for 2 years plus 6 months. You can use this link. Don't come later on asking for better price on the website. We won't be able to actually give that to you. So today is the best chance for you to extend your plan or even, get started with the premium subscription on MarketsMojo. Now let's dive into what we would be talking today. This is the timeline for today's event. First, I'll just simply break down the 4 different strategies we have on MarketsMojo. Okay, these 4 different strategies, how you can go about investing, how you can go about picking a stock from any of these 4 different strategies. What exactly suits you, okay, from the base to the top? In other words, are you building a new portfolio from scratch, or do you already have a portfolio and you're trying to catch stocks which would give you higher returns? What suits you in your current investment journey? We have a lot of investors joining us today. Some of you all are a bit new, okay, belong to the younger age group. Some of you all might be already seasoned investors. So the approach might be different for each of you. That's why I would like to break it down and make it a bit more personalized for each investor hearing me today. What strategy suits you from the base to the top? One stock from each. This is, I know many of you are actually coming to understand which one stock we've picked in today's event and why we are, giving you the analysis for that particular stock. These are prime examples of why each stock fits a different strategy. And I'll be taking you across each of these stocks. Spotting patterns, this is a bit more of an expert mode, where y'all can also find out if any particular sector is enjoying a pattern, okay, from the strategy. Are banks and NBFCs enjoying a particular movement? Okay, there's a particular sector, dyes and pigments. Are these particular stocks in that sector looking, turning around? Are they showing some potential? Is there momentum in any particular sector? We'll also be breaking this down further. And lastly, a Q&A session. This is very important because I believe that after this session, I'll keep it short. I won't take much of your time. I definitely believe a good 15-20 minutes is more than enough of information on a day for someone to consume. in the average attention span of some person also moves. 30 minute किसी की बात सुनने के बाद कोई और सुन नहीं पाता. So we will move to the Q&A session towards the end. There y'all can actually, go ahead and ask any queries. So for now, I don't want y'all to think much. I want to keep the canvas open, keep your mind blank, and just focus on what content is there on this particular presentation. And then y'all could start typing once the presentation is over, because then y'all will be able to ask a better and a more informed question. Okay, so let's just sit back and let's start off with breaking down each of the 4 strategies. I'll start off with the first one, which is Mojo stocks. This particular strategy was our first strategy when we started with stock picking here at MarketsMojo. And we've used MarketsMojo, so Mojo stocks, and these particular Mojo stocks are the best of the best in the market. When I say best of the best in the market, it takes a stock a lot of different criteria to meet and then finally enter this Mojo stock list. There's a lot of rigorous selection, and this is one of our most sought of strategies because of the difficult selection process. Okay, when a stock enters in, it's bound to succeed because it's entering the Mojo stock list. There's a lot of analysis which goes behind. The stock shows a lot of good performance. These stocks are very useful for you to create a solid base. Now, I'll be talking about one particular stock. When I take that name of that stock, you would already understand, okay, this stock, I've heard about it. This stock is a big player in the market. Or this stock has done well in the past, and that's why it would help me create a solid base. Your portfolio should always have around 3 to 4 of these solid bases. Your portfolio should always have some stocks which are present in the market and are big names and are already doing well. That forms a very good cushion for your portfolio. We have this particular thing on MarketsMojo where we look at the quality of a stock. For a stock to become a Mojo stock, the quality has to be either good or excellent. There's no compromise on quality. Quality looks at the long term. Quality looks at the capital structure, management risk. And it's highly rated stocks as per MarketsMojo parameters. What I'll do is I'll just take you all to the site along with this presentation so it's easier for you all to kind of understand what I'm talking about. If you come to the MarketsMojo website here, you can see over here there is stocks. And under stocks, these are the 4 different strategies I'm talking about. I hope there's no confusion on that. And if you go to top Mojo stocks, this is the feature I was talking about. Okay, where to invest in the market today in any particular cycle. The best part is that apart from India, we've also started pulling off for, let's say, US, UK, and a lot of other features of Infinava are going to be part. But we'll stick to India for today. And here you can see under Mojo stocks, okay, you can see the first 3 names which are coming over here. For example, Mahanagar Gas, big name in the market. Okay, I don't know if any of you all know about Ariwala Contractors. It's a mid cap. And Apollo Hospitals, another big name in the market. Okay, BSE, Thyrocare Tech, some of these stocks are big names in the market. And the reason they have been added in this particular list is because they're good and excellent quality companies. Great to create a strong base for your portfolio. If you're new, please first start picking from this strategy. Or if you feel your portfolio has a lot of volatility and you don't have enough quality stocks, MarketsMojo.com stocks, go to top Mojo stocks. This is the best strategy you can start off with, adding some cushion in your portfolio, adding a good base in your portfolio when it comes to investing. So straight off, the first feature we're talking about is Mojo stocks. I will also take you all with the example, which stock we've selected for this particular presentation. But first, let me complete talking about all the 4 different strategies. So now that you understood a bit of Mojo stocks, let's move on to the next one, which is reliable performers. Now the best part about the name of these strategies is that, the name gives out some meaning about what this strategy is. A reliable performer has been performing reliably over the past few quarters, has shown some good performance and consistent performance in its results over the past few quarters. Very simple to break down reliable performers. Now, reliable performers have the chance of becoming Mojo stocks and doing very well as they move forward. When it comes to reliable performers, a proven track record. The word we're searching for here is consistency. Proven track record. In the past, these particular stocks have demonstrated good performance. Market favorites, obviously, because if in the last 4 quarters any particular stock has done well, any of the research houses, mutual funds, institutions, even FIs might start showing interest. So they are market favorites because they have shown some performance. Past few quarters in लोग ने अच्छा performance दिखाया, which is why the market favors them. Wealth builders, please understand, I'll be showing us some stocks and reliable performers. If you're disciplined and you're invested in that stock and it's reliably doing well, we have seen, okay, even you can go to the website and see that if the financial trend, that particular chart keeps showing a green shoot, green shoot, green shoot, these stocks end up building huge wealth over the time to come. Okay, if I take you to the website to reliable performers, again, go under stocks, just go to this third one over here, which is reliable performers. Okay, there's a new stock entering. BSE once again, Frontier Springs. You can see over a longer period of time, let's say even this particular stock, okay, Ayush Wellness has moved up very fast in 1 month and 21 days. But even ASM Tech, VTM, for example, over a longer period of time, they do reliable perform well. We also have stocks which are not done well. It goes up and down both the ways. But if you see over a longer period of time in the current list, these stocks, since they have been reliably performing well, I'll definitely give you an example as to how a stock becomes a reliable performer. The third strategy, momentum now. Okay, we try to move in and out of the stocks during its momentum phase. Now you might have heard a lot about this word momentum when you invest in the stock market. ये stock में momentum अभी, or momentum trading, or momentum, not a swing approach, but something where you invest in a stock because you just want to enjoy the momentum. These are for those investors. Understand, when you're investing in this strategy, your investment horizon won't be long term. अगर आपको कोई स्टॉक में एंटर करना है और विद इन 6-8 months एवरेज पीरियड आपको एग्जिट करना है, then this strategy is meant for you. Because हर स्टॉक का momentum would, when you talk about a long term wealth creation story, okay, let's take an example of one stock, okay, which has made, let's say Avenue Supermarts, over a very long period it has made wealth. If you're looking at investing here and exiting and being patient over a long period of time, that would be something like a reliable performer. But momentum now, we enter that stock, it moves upwards, it starts moving downwards, we exit over there. Momentum, we're trying to catch this momentum which happens in that stock's journey. So we are in and out of the stocks, slightly lower investment horizon. Fundamental momentum, very important. Trust me, technical momentum only is, a very scary thing to do when it comes to investing. You should also look at the fundamental momentum. Any stock might just start moving upwards. There should be some news, there should be some fundamental research as to why that stock is moving up. Short-term focus, I've already broken this down. Because, we don't want to marry the stock. We're trying to invest in it. As soon as the stock stops showing momentum, let's say 6 months, 8 months, we exit that particular stock. Phase specific duration. Okay, we're looking at that particular phase of entering and exiting of that stock. Let's go to the website again. Under momentum now, here you can clearly see. For example, IDDC. Okay, here we can see these stocks over here. Okay, even if you go to the full list, you can actually look at all the list of stocks which have come in. Okay, over a longer period of time. This are even includes back-tested calls. You can see all the stocks over here, green, as well as some of the stocks which have not done well in the red. Right, we print the whole report over. There's nothing to hide. Any stock which comes in, moves out, everything is printed on one screen. But here you can have a clear look that some of the stocks which have exited, for example, 10 months, 2 months, 6 months, 5 months, okay, 8 months, 6 months, 1 month, 2 months, 8 months, 5 months. Now this stock, for example, entered in 15th Feb, exited on 2nd May last year. 2 months, 36% done. Benchmark in same period, 5%. So getting over here is that we are not trying to come in that particular stock and wait for it for a long time. 3 mahina, 8 mahina, enter, exit, done. That's where momentum now comes in play for you. And finally, one of my favorite strategies, but please, this is the most riskiest strategy. The reason is that we are just giving and investing in a stock which is showing a turnaround. Okay, let's say one particular stock which is showing negative profits and loss making, and then it shows one particular quarter of a turnaround. So 1 quarter of loss, and then suddenly profit. There is risk in that particular strategy. Okay, the disclaimer I read, the risk I'm trying to connect is with this risk we're talking about. Each of the strategies I'm talking about, there is some risk, but this is the most riskiest and also can reward you a lot more. We are trying to catch the stock at the bottom over here. We are trying to catch the stock at the bottom of its wealth creation journey. Why is there a risk? Because there might be 1 quarter of a good performance. Okay, let's say over here we have the price chart. I'm sorry if it's very slow. It's very small for you. But here you can understand, let's say the stock's prices, this is the profit loss of the stock, and it's currently in loss. Okay, it's in loss, and then it starts moving into profit. We are trying to catch the stock over here, right at the bottom. There can be a chance that it was just 1/4 of profit and it starts moving downwards. Or there can be a chance that it was 1/4 of profit and it starts moving upwards towards the profit zone. That is where we are trying to catch the stock, so there is risk. You might enter that stock, okay, a quarter profit dikhaya, you might enter the stock and then it shows loss again in the next quarter. You might have a downturn in the investment. But if it continues to show positive performance, then that particular stock might be a big wealth creator. We enter early. Act as soon as the stock shows signs of fundamental turnaround. But here we're not just looking at any stock. कोई भी stock अगर profit देखे हम लोग उसमें enter नहीं करेंगे. We look at stocks which show a turnaround and also have the business model and resilience in the stock market. We're looking at once, okay, if it's showing fundamental profitability, then there should be a reason and there should be a good particular management handling this company and a good business case for this stock. Early phase, we are trying to capitalize from the initial recovery phase, which is why you might enjoy returns over a longer period of time. And we're trying to ride the growth from the transition towards turnaround to a rapid growth stock. Correct? So these are the 4 different strategies we are talking about. I can also take you to, I've not showed you the hidden turnaround strategy over here. Here we try to find them early. And we try to invest before they become phenomenal stocks. So we're trying to enter before the market enters. Right? There is a very high chance of you making huge upside. Okay, for example, Butterfly Gandhimati Appliances. 28th April we entered this stock. 2 months, 26 days, giving some good 16.8% returns versus the benchmark giving around 5%. Here you can see all the stocks over. There's a very high chance that some of these stocks starts moving downwards as well. See, there are, for example, Trident. It's in the negative zone. Even Magad Sugar. 1 month, 25 days in the negative zone. So this strategy does contain some amount of risk. Please understand before you invest in this particular strategy. Okay, it's not possible for you to make profits across because there's one stock, for example, Goldiam International, sub by 123%. But we have, another stock, One Mobile Global, it's down. So there is some amount of risk when it comes to this particular strategy. But there is a high chance that if the stock continues to do well after a turnaround, you should be making money with this particular strategy. So now we've broken down the 4 strategies. It will be much better if I give you an example for each of the strategies. So let's start off with the examples. Here I made a particular chart. It's going to be much more interesting for you to understand how the risk builds up. We have the 4 strategies in one place. Starting off with Mojo stocks. Here I've used the example of J.K. Lakshmi Cement. Big brand name in the West. Big brand name across the country. Excellent, good quality company. Good for a solid foundation. This is why I've talked about J.K. Lakshmi Cement. Reliable performer. You see the risk is slightly going higher over here. Okay. ASM Technologies. Okay, R&D space related to semiconductors and a lot of things. We'll be talking about this stock. Reliably performing well. Momentum now. We're talking about KP Energy over here. We're trying to catch some amount of momentum because this stock is showing momentum over here. And finally, we have Udaipur Cement Works Limited. I also spoke about this stock last time. And I again included in this presentation because you can see how the turnaround plays for this particular stock over here. You see the risk going up from Mojo stocks to reliable to momentum to hidden. Because here we're talking about a very low risk strategy to a very, very high risk strategy, which is hidden turnaround. Okay, you're making a foundation with the legs, you're moving up towards, and then you're looking at the eyes because this is where you're trying to catch risk in the market. But this part of your investment profile, think of it like a body. I'm not, if you think about this part of your profile should be with stronger stocks. And then you move up and you start looking at, here you can just look at 2-3 stocks and start adding to increase the risk and achieve higher returns in your portfolio. Right? But your base, your foot should be strong when it comes to the stock market. You should start off with 3 to 4 good names in the market, which is why I showed J.K. Lakshmi Cement's example. Great. So I hope you all are here with me right now and you all could get some idea as to what are these strategies. Let's now get into a bit of a stock approach. Let's start understanding why each of these stocks are selected. Okay. Mojo stocks, the first strategy, excellent good quality companies, breaking down J.K. Lakshmi Cements over here for you. Excellent and good quality for this list. It's a leading brand in the cement sector. Engaged in the manufacturing and sale of cement and related products, including ready-to-mix concrete and AAC concrete blocks. Strong presence in states of Maharashtra, Gujarat. Many people living here might know this company. Half of the sales coming from this region, followed by Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. So more dominated towards the western part, western belt of the country. If you look at the manufacturing capability, it has installed capacity for manufacturing 16.5 metric tons per annum of cement with a clinker capacity of 10 metric tons per annum with 7 manufacturing facilities operational across the country. Now, if you add a stock which is reliable like this in your portfolio, you're giving a good strong foundation. I can now visit the stock, take you to the stocks page. Let's look at JK Lakshmi Cement. Score of 75 buy. Okay. Don't worry, it's down by 1.6% today, but in the market, BSE 500 is down by 0.55, Sensex is down by 0.66. Here, if you see over a period of time, let's say 1 year, year to date, 1 year, 3 years, the stock has made 113% return over the last 3 years. And reliable in nature as well, because you can see it's selected because it's a Mojo stock and the stock is showing some signs of good fundamental profitability. High management efficiency, declared positive results in March. Okay, ROC of 10.7, high institution holding of 37%. 37% of the shareholding is with institutions. These institutions have immense amount of research. Right, it's well known in the market and it has a high institution holding. Okay, good quality company, something which I was talking about, valuation fair, financial trend scorecard positive, technical scorecard bullish. Okay, and since this company is currently enjoying a bullish trend, it's very important for you to understand it's better if you're entering at this particular range, and it's turned bullish from mildly bullish on 30th June. So since the last 24 days, the stock is now in the bullish movement upwards. Correct. See, last 1 week, 1 day period. Okay, in 1 month, if you see 1 month is the actual time. 30th June, here it became bullish. Our technical indicator said, okay, at 897, this stock is bullish. 100 points up, 981. Right? So return over here. Turn bullish from mildly bullish on 30th June at 897. It's not something I'm picking from my own this thing. 897 pe bullish hua hai. Moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up. It had a big jump over here. And now it's currently at 981. It peaked. It hit 1009. It crossed the 1000 range. Okay, I think 1000 would have been the all-time high if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1000 should have been the all-time high over here. And here you can see the cuts currently at 981. Now you might be a bit worried, okay, the stock is near the all-time high price. Nothing to be worried about. The stock which fundamentally does well over a longer period of time keeps going up. Right? Cement and cement products. Fair valuation. Okay, after 1315 we believe it to become expensive. Correct? Returns beta. It's a high beta stock. So this is why we've selected JK Lakshmi Cement. If you go to recommendation also, you'll get a better idea. You can download this report, but you can get a better idea. Quality is good. Ranks 10 out of 40 companies, so big name in the market. Fair valuation, bullish technicals, positive financial trend. Right? So this was with JK Lakshmi Cement, a good stock to build your strong foundation. And now let's move on to the next particular stock. We're talking about ASM Technologies, a reliable performer. This stock would have consistently demonstrated strong fundamentals and steady growth, stable price trend, and that makes it dependable, reliable, consistent. It's a global engineering and R&D player. Company operates as a consultant in product engineering and R&D services with offshore development and operating centers from India and overseas. Wide range of applications, clientele is spread across industries such as semiconductor, high-tech medical equipment, automotive and aerospace, enterprising storage and networking, consumer electronic industries. Look, reliable performer, this is what I was talking about. If you look at the financial trend, last 4 quarters it has given positive financial trend. Correct? Here the last financial trend was 40. Okay, I think this is still the March quarter. Here you can see the March quarter has been 40 at outstanding. Outstanding and one of the most highest financial scores you can see. Correct? So now I'll take you to this particular stock as well to give you a better idea as to why it's a reliable performer. ASM Technologies. Okay, it turned from hold to buy on 10 July. Okay, 14 days ago. Last 1 week, it's moving up 12.65%. 1 month, it's moved 15.37. Year to date, 132% movement year to date. It's at the higher level now. Nothing to be worried about. It's reliable, performing well. It should go up. Correct. Reliably performing well, if you go to recommendations under recommendation and financial trend over here, reliably having a good financial trend. यहाँ नीचे आप देखोगे तो नेगेटिव परफॉर्मेंसेस, ये ब्लैक डॉट जो है प्राइस में, ये प्राइस नीचे गिर रहा है क्योंकि रेड नेगेटिव परफॉर्मेंस, नेगेटिव परफॉर्मेंस, नेगेटिव परफॉर्मेंस. टर्न अराउंड स्टार्ट हुआ है, 4 quarters of positive performance. Right, we didn't enter here. We could have entered here also, but it was negative. We entered somewhere here when the company started moving, showing good performance, and it's moved upwards now. It's moved up very fast, okay? In such stocks, you can miss within a short period of time also, these stocks move very fast. It will be very fast. Small cap company, thoda bhi movement, good news aata hai, stock starts moving upwards. Right, you can see in the 1 year month also itself, 2763, abhi it's to 3188. Okay, the actual boost started over here around 16th May. So this is why it's a reliable performer. Right, next up we have momentum now, KP Energy. Momentum again, short term, only the momentum, enter, exit. Okay, shorter span. The current market cycle the company is enjoying, so we are entering it. Once the market cycles, the company starts showing a poor technical, we exit out. It has a comprehensive presence in wind energy infrastructure, engaged in the development of wind power generation infrastructure, involves siting wind farms, acquisition of land, EPC of the prospective wind projects, and supporting infrastructure. Independent power producers, the company itself has ventured into power manufacturing and has its own renewable energy generation capacity of 48.5 megawatts. Understand over here we're talking about renewable energy generation, and also many of you have asked about Indian Energy Exchange and what exactly happened to this stock. You see, renewable energy is the future, even though the board has actually spoken about this. Okay, and this is the future. This is looking well. A lot of the, we're actually migrating towards from, fossil to a kind of a renewable energy generation. And this particular company is into that. If you even look at the execution and healthy order book, company grew on the back of strong execution of projects leading to a revenue growth of around over 100% from the power infra business. As of 31st March, the company had a multi-year order book executing over 2 gigawatts of renewable power projects, providing revenue visibility. A long term, the revenue from power supply, owned power plants grew by 32%, which is still very small part of the entire business. Understand, we are not just talking about any stock which has, let's say, showing momentum. You have to look at the business model. We are doing the homework here. Whenever we pick a stock, we go and read if that company is actually worth picking and entering the strategy. So we don't go wrong. Just because there are a few formulas saying, okay, इसमें momentum है, ये chart ऊपर जा रहा है, ये breakout level, all that is good. Apart from technical, you should also look at the fundamentals. Look at the orders. Does the company have revenue visibility? So this particular company is showing revenue visibility. Right, we'll go to the stocks page over here. If you put K.P.Energy, up by around 2% today. Turned bullish from mildly bullish on 22nd July. 2 दिन पहले इसका bullish started showing bullish trend. Changed from hold to buy. Today it's up by around 2%. Okay, 2 days back is when we felt this company is moving up and going to a further bullish zone. It has increased from 530 to 540 in that period. Right? Momentum. So for momentum, you have to look at these last 2 dots. Now if you look at this stock, you'll see, Jason, that अरे पहले 2 डॉट तो येलो और रेड है. मोमेंटम में हम लोग सिर्फ लास्ट 2 डॉट्स देख रहे हैं. स्कोर भी उतना देखने की जरूरत नहीं. लास्ट 2 डॉट्स. फाइनेंशियल ट्रेंड, टेक्निकल्स. मोमेंटम अगेन शॉर्ट टर्म. If you look at the, let's say, technicals, MACD is saying bullish, Bollinger Band saying bullish, RSI is showing bearish, but it's fine. Moving average is bullish, KST bullish, on balance volume bullish. Right? Financial trend 29 very positive. You can see over here it's at 29 very positive and it's moving upwards. Correct. Now we'll move on to the last particular stock. I had picked this example last time and I'm picking it up again. Udaipur Cement Works Limited. Right, part of the first particular Mojo stock I'm talking about. Again, not a very small company. The first Mojo stock I spoke about. It's part of the same group. Engaged in the manufacturing and sale of cement and cement products under the brand Platinum Heavy Duty Cement. Why is it a turnaround? This particular chart will give you a better example. This is the quarterly results. Minus 14 crores, minus 25 crores, minus 10 crores, minus 18 crores profit. Correct? 2.28 crores of, sorry, this is loss, 2.28 crores of profit. You see the turnaround exactly happening over there. right? You can kind of understand the turnaround which is happening for this particular stock, where it was making loss and then it starts moving into the profitable zone. Finally, 40 crores of profit over here. You see, this is where we are trying to invest in the stock, not at this level. Because यहाँ पे मालूम भी नहीं अगर stock turnaround होने वाला है. We are actually trying to enter the stock over here at the turnaround range. Correct? This is the thing we're looking at. Profit before tax, profit after tax, and this is where the company has started showing fundamental profitability. Now that we've understood all these particular strategies and we also picked up one example from each of these particular strategies, we can also start spotting market patterns. And here we'll not go much into depth, we'll just get some idea for you so that you can, refine your research. You might have a preference in the market. I'm not talking about sector preference, but you might have a valuation preference. कि मैं जो भी stock enter कर रहा हूँ उसका valuation थोड़ा अच्छा रहना चाहिए, right? या फिर वो stock जो मैं enter कर रहा हूँ उसका technicals bullish रहना चाहिए. Or I want to invest in a stock debt-free company, or I want to invest in a stock which, let's say, has a good growth or a lower, P ratio, all of it. That's where you can combine these strategies with the screener. You can look at each of these strategies and start looking at the sectors. Let me give you an example over here. For example, you can go to stocks and hidden turnarounds. If you just scroll below under the current list, you can just sort down the sector. Here you can see there are some stocks or some sectors which are repeating. For example, we have 3 textiles, 2 sugar companies, but we have 4 dyes and pigment companies. So there can be a chance that this particular sector you're seeing is turning around. The whole sector itself will start showing fundamental profitability. Cement, on the other hand, we have 4 cement companies: JK Cements, Udaipur Cement, Birla Corporation, Mangal Cement. Where you can see these 3 to 4 different stocks. From that, one is down, but you can see Udaipur Cement over here up by 20%. Right? JK Cements up by 18%, Birla Corporation up by 8.20%. The cement sector itself could show a turnaround. What would you do in this place? If I would be in your place, I would go to the earnings section and start monitoring the results of cement companies. Right? Cement and cement products is showing 55% positive results. Great. It could be possible that from a loss making, we are having more cement companies entering into profitable zone. Now, for example, I'm in the cement screen over here under the result. Here you can see 2 things. What stocks have declared results, which stocks have improved, and the performance since then. Correct? Market has been a bit bearish. We see last 15 days, many of those stocks have given good returns. Case of industry, very small stocks. I will not suggest you to dive a lot deeper. But this is how you can refine your research. When the result season is coming, it's a good time to pick up good stocks. Let's say dyes and pigments, for example. Even dyes and pigments was saying that this particular sector is showing a turnaround. You can simply go to industry, select dyes and pigments, and remove cement and cement products. The only one stock which is common, which is ultramarine pigmentation. Positive but fallen, so here we cannot get any particular trend. Let's pick a different strategy itself. Let's go to momentum now. And here we can sort down the sectors to get a better example. So here I'm trying to find out, okay, engineering, this particular sector over here. You can see a lot of them enjoying momentum currently. IT software, 3 stocks. Pharma industry, we have 5 of them. Correct. So let's dive a bit deeper into pharma stocks and see whether they are showing some momentum currently. Again, we can go to market and earnings. Earnings very important to get and see the results. I'll start seeing the result declared of pharma companies. Okay, the results that have come in of pharma companies, many of them don't show much improvement, but some of the stocks are shooting upwards. Cenaris Pharma, Belmax Drugs, Indo Core Remedy. So these stocks might be enjoying some kind of momentum. You can further go to the screener and then start adding more filters. For example, you go to markets and screeners. Under stocks, if you go to screener section and you go to investment ideas, some of the strategies are picked from here itself. So So let's say turning around performance, hidden turnaround, potential turnaround, okay, which could turn around. This is a bit more riskier, so I would suggest you to look at turning around their performance. Right, so we have companies turning around their performance over here. Let's say Centrum Electronics. So March 25 का result दिख रहा है यहाँ पे. But if you don't want to see for March, you can also see, look at the result quarter of the latest. June 25, Navkar Corporations, turning around, negative to positive. Right, even this company, for example, Rallies India, from a negative to positive. Now let's say you don't want companies which are not bullish. So you can add a technical grade and then select, I want only bullish stocks turning around. 25 of them. 4% up today. Negative performance, very positive, 4%. Micro cap stocks will be a bit careful. So June quarter का ही देख सकते हैं हम लोग, for example, Rallies India, negative to positive. Let's see how the stock has done. Result, let's see the result since the result has come. Positive financial performance, score has changed from sell to hold, stock is moving upwards. Right, so it's enjoying some kind of, because of its turnaround, it's enjoying some kind of movement upwards. You can see here the stock has turned around. Isliye the stock's price is also moving upwards. So this is with spotting the market patterns. Understand over here, you can add a lot of filters. And here we come towards, the final end where we can also now start picking questions. But before I move to the question answer session, please understand, this offer is not available on the website. It's only available on this link below the webinar. If you would like to start off with understanding how Mojo One works, it's the best time, the best price. These prices are very, these older offers which are not available on the site currently. आप site पे भी जाके देख सकते हो, आपको ये price नहीं मिल सकता. 1 year free for attending this webinar, 6 months for a limited period. So a total of 2 years plus 6 months, around 30 months at 14,999 comes up to around 500 rupees per day, less than the cost of something like a pizza. But at that price, you're getting webinars to guide you, all the different strategies, a portfolio tracker on the website, and a lot of more features. If anyone of you all also want to understand a bit more further, you can simply call MarketsMojo or send us an email and we'll be happy to guide you. With that, I'll start off with the Q&A session. And thanks a lot if you have been here and you're hearing this whole particular presentation. Okay, we'll start off with this first question by Sunil Kaul. There's an issue with the model portfolio. Definitely, we have a look at that. I'll ask the team to check this. Yeah, moving on to some of the previous questions which are asked. This one was asked at around 6:54 today by Sunil Gupta. We notice a huge diversion of stock rating by MarketsMojo and Money Control. Both are having the same criteria to assess and score. Please study and comment upon. We cannot say blindly that MarketsMojo rating is good. Keep underperformance in mind. Please comment. It's a different way both of us are actually looking at stocks analysis. The way we look at it, we're trying to go a bit more deeper. We're looking at, heavier research. And there's a way we are actually doing it. Understand we were the first ones to come up with this quality evaluation, financial trend technicals. The first one to actually start giving scores in the market. So the way we look at it is slightly different to the way someone else might look at it. And, the way we look at it, we have all the analysis available on the website. You can go a bit more deeper. I'm not sure about recent how Money Control is actually looking at stocks, but definitely we can have a look at that. Market has been a bit choppy in the recent period as well. But if you look at over the longer term, you can ask any of the investors here at MarketsMojo how the wealth creation journey has been. It's very good to look at the longer term. With the help of our score, with the help of model portfolios, many of the investors hearing me today might vouch for this. You can drop in the chat box as well. You'll have to be at a longer period. I've seen a lot of investors come in the recent period and looking at the choppy market, you might see some underperformance is possible. But a good disciplined approach of investing over a long term would definitely yield you results. Right? So we can move on to this next question. This is by Bharat Mehta. The way you are notifying clients about entering a stock for buy or strong buy, I request you to notify about a stock when it enters a sell and strong sell soon. Very soon. Very soon we are starting some emailers. Very interesting ones. Okay, apart from Mojo Times, there'll be a lot of call change and a lot of interesting emailers coming to your way, Mr. Mehta. So stay tuned. We're already in the development of that. We are trying to make a lot of different communications because I know many of you all are coming on the site, but it's bit more easier if you get a WhatsApp or an email. So definitely give us some time and we will be looking at this particular thing. Moving on to this next question. This is by Madhusudan. What should we do when the stock is very expensive or over the very expensive, but still showing good results? Is it good to switch or still ride? See, Uh, Expensive stocks still go upwards. Now, what I mean by that is stock at an all-time high can also still go upwards. If you're holding a very expensive stock, expensive by itself is not a bad term. The reason for that is you can look at expensive as premium also. I have a particular product in the market. Okay, let's move out from stocks for a while. Let's look at a particular bag. It might be a premium bag. And the reason it might be a premium bag is because it might be made of a particular leather or a particular stitching. Now, in that case, you might say, why is this bag priced at, let's say, 40, 50,000 when there's another bag priced at around 200 or let's say 400. And there is a reason why it's a premium product. There's a reason why the stock is a premium, very expensive stock. What could be the reasons? One is that it's overly valued. ये stock का उतना valuation है नहीं फिर भी इतना expensive range पे. Or second, it could be a premium or a very expensive stock because it commands that particular valuation. It has done well in the past. People are crazy about that stock. You have to make the difference between these two. Am I investing in a premium stock which hasn't done well in the past, which does not have good fundamentals? It's showing very expensive on MarketsMojo और वो stock का कुछ future ही नहीं है. Exit. But are you investing in a premium stock, very expensive, MarketsMojo पे दिख रहा है, but that stock is still doing well, fundamentally good, big name in the market, okay, continuously declaring good results, then that could be your answer to being in that stock, right? So you have to ask yourself this question: stock is showing very expensive, is the score good or is the score poor? There are many stocks on MarketsMojo जहाँ पे very expensive valuation दिख रहा है, but is the score showing good? Is the fundamentals looking good? Those stocks you can enter and hold. But if let's say the stock is very expensive but the fundamentals are not good, the stock is moving downwards, then that should be an exit for your particular portfolio. Okay, we're getting a lot more questions. Happy to see that. This is by Yeti. I'm looking at stock, seldom discussed to analysts by market specialists, and to my mind should be a Mojo or equivalent category stock. Given the flavor of the year, Deccan Gold Mines, any views, maybe the 1 year holding period. Or let's go to the website to get a better idea on this. Deccan Gold Mines is currently showing sell. Okay, because of its current fundamentals, the quality is bad, the valuation is expensive. Financial trend is fair, technicals are bullish. So even though the first three dots are negative, if you see from since January, this company is also moving upwards. Now, this can happen. These three dots look at the past as well. There could be some news in the stock, which is why it's moving upwards. Now, what should be your call on the stock? If you look at the news, the upcoming board meeting has not been announced. Let's go to financial trend over here. Okay, March quarter. One thing over here you can see it is negative, but the negative is improving. In other words, it was -9 December. Okay, September period. -7 in September, -2 in March. But there is an improvement from -9 to -7 to -2. If this becomes green, then you could start seeing the stock shoot upwards. Right? So if you're investing in the stock, and you're investing for 1 year, you have to monitor it. You have to go about saying that, okay, I'm investing in Deccan Gold Mines, but I will monitor this stock. The negative chart I was showing you was of the results. If let's say it moves to green and maintains that green level, this stock will move from sell to hold to buy, and then it can be a big wealth creator in the story. Going with that, saying that over the past, the stock has not had a good quality, so it has some amount of risk. Give it some time, see if the next quarter, which comes in June, is a good performance. Okay, here I can see, for example, the stock has, if you can just share my screen once again, you can see a -67 crore loss, 38 crore profit, -64 crore loss, -21 crore loss, 14 to 15 crore profit. I'll tell you my personal preference when it comes to investing in such stocks. I am a bit, cautious when I invest in such stocks. What I like in my portfolio, what here at MarketsMojo we suggest you, is stock showing some consistency. अभी ये stock का profit जो था loss to profit, so you can understand how your portfolio will also be volatile. If it starts moving to a bit of a more consistent approach, let's say you really want to invest in this stock and you know a bit few more things which I don't know about this particular stock, I've not gone in detail. Let the June quarter come out, look at the result, and look at the financial trend score on MarketsMojo. After you look at the financial trend score on MarketsMojo, see if it's green. If it moves to green, then it could be a good entry for you. That could be your hidden turnaround. Right? You can enter that stock and then monitor it. Okay, June ka quarter, September quarter, December quarter, June quarter. You have to monitor it 4 times in a year. Monitor the stock. If you are at MarketsMojo, we'll also send you a result alert that the stock has seen negative, positive performance. Then you could go about taking your, idea with as to what you should do after you enter that stock. Okay, moving on to this next question by Sudhakar. You said I signed up for 3 Infinity portfolios, but after ending one seminar, I want to change one of the portfolios to another. High risk. You can definitely reach to the Infinity team directly. This is a Mojo One event. I won't be able to help you much with this. Mojo Infinity is a slightly different product. Drop a support ticket, and definitely they should be able to, you should be able to kind of go ahead and look at this with the team. Mr. Tushar Kondra, you said to keep this video available for a week. Definitely, the video will be available. If you want to see where it's available, you could go to webinar, and you could go to previous recordings. Under previous recordings, last time's event was there. Gear up, result season, stock selection made easy. Definitely, I'll ask the team to keep this webinar also available under previous recordings. If you could make that request. You asked another question. I'll pick that as well. EFC India year-on-year results are not correctly updated. I'll just check this. If you also drop it on the group, I'll ask my team to check this particular thing as to why it's not updated properly, and definitely we'll have a look at that. Vikram Sharma has asked, Ayush Wellness making lower circuit for a few days. Why still a buy? See, this particular stock has been very, it has moved upwards, hitting upper circuits for some period of time. Now it's hitting lower circuits. It's very, once short it opens up in the market, it's difficult to enter or exit. I'll ask the investment committee about this particular stock. A lot of investors are entering and exiting at the same amount of time. I'm not able to understand when is the declaration of the news. Okay, so the news has not yet come out. But definitely I'll have a look at this thing and I'll have a check as to what we can do for this particular stock, what you should do as an investor, whether you should buy or exit. But this has been very choppy in nature. So give it some time for this particular stock and we'll get a better idea. I'll also check this question with the investment committee. Thanks for raising it. Sandesh, you asked, those Zomato and Swiggy are going up. Why are their scores low? See, when it comes to MarketsMojo here, we are looking at the past performance. And when we looked at a stock, let's say, for example, Zomato, what happens is that its past fundamentals hasn't been good. Okay, it has been a loss-making company. Here, even if you see the fundamental trend over here, it started moving upwards. Then as soon as the fundamentals started moving to green, it started moving upwards. And then here you can see how it tanked down when the fundamental went to 4, -9. Stock is zooming up. Okay, there are many other newses about that particular stock, which is why it's zooming up. Here at MarketsMojo, we don't have that comfort zone. So that's why both these stocks are strong sell. Okay, the same question was also asked, for example, I'm not comparing actually, please don't hold me accountable. But same question was also asked for, let's say, Adani, Green Energy and stuff, these particular stocks. We had a very low rating for these stocks and many of us asked, why have we rated them low? If you look at COVID levels as well, now in the last 3 years, the stock is down by 51%. Okay, none of you all actually talk about this particular thing. We should receive a lot of questions about this. Company is declaring poor results, so we are not entering that particular company. Right, so that's why we are here at MarketsMojo have a certain criteria. And based on that criteria, we go about, giving a particular score. Now, since the analyst is saying that these stocks are not good, we're giving it a sell score. Correct? Question by Parasi Shah. Hi sir, I'm an existing MarketsMojo user. My plan will expire on December 25. Can I purchase the plan? Definitely you can click this link. Only thing is that the link won't be available for long, so you won't be able to get it later. Click on this link. Your new subscription will start after December 25. Right? It won't start from today. It will start after December 25. The 4 months you have, 5 months you have will get added on and it will go ahead. So the link won't be available for a long time. You can definitely use the link below the video and go ahead. Okay. Moving on to this next question. This is by Subramaniam. MarketsMojo publishes the results of Bikaji Foods as disappointing where it has met the estimates. Definitely let's look at Bikaji Foods and understand. So the stock has met its estimates. See, the market hasn't reacted well with the stock today. Okay, the result was on 23rd July, which is yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to the financial trend and understand why is this stock has a negative score of -5. Okay, move downwards. Profit after tax is lower. Even though it's met estimates. See, meeting estimates does not mean that the stock will move upwards. Surprising the estimate is when the stock moves upwards. Right? Let's say, I've also said this many times, when, let's say, a particular stock in the auto industry, for example, and due to poor sales, just before the results, the company has come out and said, okay, some of the cars have not done well. And we expect that the company's results would be, let's say, 500. And then when the result comes out, it moves to, let's say, 800, for example. That's a surprise estimate. Not meeting the estimate is going higher than the estimate, the stock should move upwards. So even though it's met estimates, it's now moving very well, very in tandem with how Sensex and BSE. Today the market was down as well, so the stock must have fallen down by 1.6%. It's also at a very expensive zone currently, which is why, we have given a score of flat. We're not given a score of negative. It's a flat score. It's not positive, not negative at -5, right? Okay, moving on to the next question. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick up, so some of the investors have asked 3 or 4 questions. To make it better and give everyone a chance, I'm picking, let's say 1 or 2 questions from each investors. And next time, definitely, I'll go ahead trying to pick up all questions. RB asked, I would like to suggest a refresher session on how to extract more value from MarketsMojo, especially after loads of development. Definitely, we look into this. A great suggestion. We'll have a lot of more events giving you a refresher on this. So it's better for you to go ahead. Sarang, you asked if one stock has to be selected from stock of the week or stock of the month. High or moderate to high risk investor. See, in both these strategies, we tell you what is the risk. Okay, so if you're a moderate to high risk investor, you can definitely go ahead. Understand, stock of the week comes with a duration. 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. So it's more of a shorter. Stock of the month, we might end up holding for years to go. There are many examples in stock of the month कि 1-2 साल की return नहीं देते हैं और फिर 3-4 साल में it makes up for all the return. So if you're looking at investing for a very longer term, I would suggest stock of the month. But if you're looking for a short term, let's say 12 months, let's say 8 months, 15 months, then you should look at the stock of the week approach. Right? Then I'll move on to this next question. I think we've covered up most of the questions today. We got another one on Ayush Wellness. Definitely, I'll ask the team. I'll drop a message to the team and see what exactly we should go ahead with Ayush Wellness. Vikram Sharma, you asked on MGL. Market is seeing some downward movement today. I know the stock entered very recently, but the overall sentiment is slightly lower today. It's down by around 3.6%. It's a strong buy. You don't need to be worried about Mahanagar Gas Limited. You asked this question, Mr. Vikram Sharma. Give it some time because it's just entered the list. Market is also seeing a bearish movement. Over the last 1 month, since January, it's up by 11%. So you should definitely give it some more time. Instead of just simply being a bit panicked, it's just enter the list. So definitely you should go ahead giving it some more time. I hope we could pick up a lot of questions. Our time is hit at we've spent around 1 hour together. And thanks a lot for attending today's event. Just a small notice that this particular offer won't be available for a long time. The link is available just below the video. If you attended this event, we'll definitely send you the link. 14,999 for 2 years plus 6 months, coming at around just 500 rupees per month. Definitely use this link if you would like to go ahead. Either extend your plan or you would like to start off with a new subscription. Thanks a lot. I hope you all could get an idea about these 4 different strategies and how we could go about picking stocks. You can definitely try out these 4 strategies, pick stocks from the list, and go ahead with your wealth creation journey at MarketsMojo. We'll definitely be having more events. I'll try to have some few refreshers, and we'll be looking at new sections as well. So thanks a lot for giving me your time. Goodbye and have a great day going ahead. Thank you so much.